Live from our studios on Caraba Avenue, this is the QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Jules Denjai. Thank you for joining us here at the headlines. Gambia's Environment Minister, Rohi John Manjang, addressed the 7th United Nations Environment Assembly in Nairobi, Kenya, highlighting her country's ongoing efforts to manage waste, reduce pollution, and build resilience across climate challenges. Following a week-long visit to the Gambia, the Special Representative of the UN Secretary-General on Violence Against Children, Her Excellency Dr. Nataj Mala Majid, has praised the Gambia's ongoing efforts in protecting children's rights and promoting child welfare. From January 1st, 2026, air travel across West Africa is set to become significantly cheaper. The regional bloc, ECOWAS, has approved a major reform to cut passenger and security charges by 25% and remove some air transport taxes entirely. And the Gambia Immigration Department, GID, in partnership with Spain's Guardia Civil, on Friday wrapped up an intensive 3-week training program which focused on border control and territorial integrity at the GID training school in Tanje. Now, the 95th ordinary session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers commenced in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday, with Sering Modunjai, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad, and Abubakar Ismail Ajouf, the Minister of Defense, in attendance. These and other stories coming ahead. Do stay tuned. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, this is the QTV Nightly News. Now, 3 weeks after COP30 ended, delegates from more than 170 countries are in Nairobi for the 7th United Nations Environment Assembly, UNEA7. Gambia's Environment Minister, Rohi John Manjang, addressed the assembly, highlighting her country's ongoing efforts to manage waste, reduce pollution, and build resilience against climate challenges. Let's have more details of that in this report. Delivering her national statement at the United Nations Environment Assembly 7th session in Nairobi, Minister Rohi John Manjang said Gambia faces significant environmental pressures due to rapid urbanization, limited land resources, and growing challenges in managing liquid and solid waste, plastic pollution, and harmful environmental practices. These interlinked threats are reshaping ecosystems and destabilizing communities, especially in vulnerable countries like the Gambia.
Although the Gambia contributes little to the general climate crisis, there is high political will to intensify efforts to address pollution. Cabinet has approved a national action plan to reduce plastic pollution by 86% within 10 years. To support our ambitious level in providing climate solutions, strong international partnership is essential.
She outlined that despite limited technical and financial resources, Gambia is committed to pursuing innovative solutions. The country is developing an integrated national waste management system using a public-private partnership model to improve municipal waste services, establish sanitary landfills, and implement comprehensive recycling processes.
Almost all international climate discussions, increased climate and environmental financing, technology transfer, and capacity building is urgently needed to support implementation, especially in LDCs and seats. Multilateralism must be strengthened. Scale of finance prioritized, predictably, and access mechanism must also be included.
UNEA 7, which runs from 8 to 12 December, brings together over 4,800 participants from more than 170 countries at the United Nations office in Nairobi, the only UN headquarters in the Global South. Delegates are discussing 15 draft resolutions and 3 draft decisions on critical environmental issues, including protecting glaciers, managing minerals and metals sustainably, addressing seaweed blooms, and reducing the environmental footprint of artificial intelligence. Although UNEA decisions are not legally binding, they often guide global agreements and have paved the way for landmark international actions, such as addressing plastic pollution. The Assembly will also launch the 7th Global Environment Outlook and announce the 2025 Champions of the Earth Awards. UNEP Executive Director Inga Anderson highlighted that the Assembly provides a vital platform for countries to find real-world solutions to the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. National leaders, including heads of state and government, are expected to address the Assembly during the high-level segment. UNEA 7 will also approve the United Nations Environment Programme Medium-Term Strategy for 2026-2029, setting the organization's priorities for the coming years. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jules Denyai. Following a week-long visit to the Gambia, the special representative of the UN Secretary General on Violence Against Children, Her Excellency Dr. Najat Mala Majid, has praised the Gambia's ongoing efforts in protecting children's rights and promoting child welfare. Ansumana Esonyasi reports.
As part of her mandate, Dr. Najat engaged key actors and government agencies during her week-long visit to assess progress and provide support to ongoing national efforts to promote and protect child welfare in the Gambia. Speaking to the press, she expressed optimism about the future of child rights advocacy in the country, noting that her engagements with stakeholders had yielded valuable insights.
What's really it's also important is having legal framework that is consistent with child rights standards. It means also have a kind of policy framework, but this is not enough. What is important is to make sure that even when we are doing policies, we need to clarify who is accountable on what and who is intervening on what. So it means a strong coordinating framework and accountability framework.
While she acknowledged ongoing challenges, particularly weaknesses in information sharing systems, the persistence of social norms that negatively affect children in the Gambia, and the need for stronger policies to support and protect children's rights, she said she remains optimistic.
The other point that impressed me, to be very frank, is the people who are working. The social workers, in all the centers I visit, the physician I visit in the hospital, the guards in the detention center. My God, despite challenges and so on, they are committed, they are providing love and care. It's amazing. And I was impressed also when I visit, all the Supreme Islamic Courts, and also when we were discussing with the Ministry of Land, is currently also the fact that you have more and more religious leaders, traditional leaders, who are promoting protective social norms.
Gambia's Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Honorable Fatou Kinte, welcomed the UN Secretary General's Special Representative's positive assessment of the country's efforts on children's rights and child welfare. She also reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring the protection and promotion of children's rights.
And I want to thank her very much for choosing to come to Gambia and spend this long with us, talking to everybody and even those at the grassroots. For me, that's important. And even the children. Because we have reached a point in Gambia now, when we are planning for children, we have to plan with them so that we know what their concerns are and together we implement with them. This is the reason why we have the Children's Parliament. So, and she has met some of them, and they're also very assertive. They are also very eloquent.
During her visit, Dr. Najat held meetings with key partners across government, civil society and the private sector, exploring opportunities for collaboration and support to help advance the welfare of children in the Gambia. Ansumana Esonyasi for KTV News.
From January 1st, 2026, air travel across West Africa is set to become significantly cheaper. The regional bloc, ECOWAS, has approved a major reform to cut passenger and security charges by 25% and remove some air transport taxes entirely, addressing long-standing concerns over high flight costs that have limited tourism, trade and the free movement of people and goods. Let's have more details of that in this report. High airfares have long made flying in West Africa expensive. At the December 2024 ECOWAS summit in Abuja, heads of state and government approved reforms under the Aviation Sector Taxes, Fees and Charges Supplemental Act. Starting January 2026, all member states will abolish certain air travel tariffs and reduce passenger and security charges by 25%. Here is Chris Appiah, the ECOWAS Commission's Director of Transport.
As you've rightly said, ECOWAS stands for regional integration. And regional integration rides on connectivity, right? So the free movement of persons, goods and services. And it's been established that our region is the most expensive when it comes to air transport services. And it was realized that two components contribute to this. The first is the taxes that are levied on the travel tickets by the respective governments and the charges that are also charged by civil aviation authorities and airport companies on these tickets. So the heads of states in 2023, during their mid-year summit in Abuja, recognized this issue and tasked the ministers in charge of air transport and finance to meet and find a solution to this very expensive air ticket, which is impeding against the regional integration agenda.
According to the African Airlines Association 2020 study, Western and Central Africa had the highest average passenger charges for international travel at $94.59 and $93.74 respectively. Northern Africa, by comparison, had an average of $26.27, highlighting the cost disparity within the continent. Airlines also face multiple fees at airports, including landing, noise, parking, check-in counters, ground handling, fire safety and terminal charges, among others, which increase operational costs and ticket prices. Research shows that reducing ticket costs can significantly boost passenger demand. The predictive mobility study found that air travel in Africa is highly price sensitive. A 10% cut in ticket prices can raise passenger numbers from about 22.3 million to 30.1 million per year. ECOWAS plans to monitor implementation through a regional air traffic economic monitoring mechanism, ensuring that lower fees lead to reduced fares for passengers and support a thriving, accessible air transport industry. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jules Denjai. We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national, international and sports news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25 Cs. Yes! Recharge $25 Cs and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience.
Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now to the rest of our stories. The Gambia Immigration Department, GID, in partnership with Spanish Guardia Civil, on Friday wrapped up an intensive 3-week training program which focused on border control and territorial integrity at the GID training school in Tanje. Yafatugay tells us more.
The training benefited 25 participants from the Gambia Immigration Department, the Gambia Revenue Authority, the Gambian Navy and the police force, making it one of the country's most diverse multi-agency capacity building sessions in recent years. The training comes at a critical time. The Gambia has recorded a surge in migrants attempting to reach Spain, either directly from the Gambian source or through trans-Saharan routes, many risking their lives in unsafe boats known locally as the backway journeys. At the closing ceremony, officials from the Gambia and Spain underscored the urgency of boosting border management capacity to save lives and curb irregular migration. Violeta Insa Sandoval, chargé d'affaires at the Spanish Embassy, and Mayor Eduardo Leon, the Spanish delegate director, highlighted the importance of the joint initiative.
This multi-agency exercise is a unique experience that brings together different experts with the aim of working closely in the fight against crime and improving border security and protection of Gambian citizens.
The results of this collaboration are very satisfactory, not only for the goals achieved in the past and the ones to come, but also about creating a climate of mutual trust and understanding between the Spanish Guardia Civil and the security forces in the Gambia.
Representing the Director General of the GID, Assistant Commissioner Seiduba commended both the trainees and the Spanish facilitators for their dedication.
It is very important for us to know that to face these threats effectively, continuous capacity building is essential. And in doing that, we must strengthen not only the number of our border personnel, but also, more importantly, the quality of their skills and knowledge, particularly in modern surveillance techniques, and territorial control must be enhanced.
In her closing remarks, ASI Maria Manjundu of the Gambia Immigration Department delivered the vote of thanks, expressing gratitude on behalf of the trainees.
The knowledge gathered from these past 3 weeks has built our capacity to improve on our daily work and will surely improve service delivery.
As irregular migration continues to shape the national conversation, officials says collaboration like this one remains vital. Both countries reiterated that safeguarding borders is not only a matter of national security, but a life-saving mission for young Gambians tempted by dangerous routes in search of better opportunities. The training concluded with the presentation of certificates and renewed commitments to continue strengthening collaboration between the Gambia and Spain. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatu Gay.
The 95th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers commenced in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday, where the major issues facing the region were discussed. Sering Modunjai, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad, and Babukar Ismail Ejuf, the Minister of Defense, in attendance. Momodu Gajaga has the details.
As the Council, which comprises of Ministers of Finance and Ministers responsible for integration from the regional bloc and other important dignitaries gathered to discuss various matters of importance, Dr. Umar Aliu Toure, President of the ECOWAS Commission, gave a breakdown of some of the progresses made.
I am happy to note that already the idea of promoting intra-regional investment is gaining traction in our member states. This year alone, we have seen a number of economic investment fora, such as the Forum Senegal Invest, West African Economic Summit in Nigeria, and the Invest in District Savan Forum in Côte d'Ivoire, among others.
Also at the meeting of ministers, address issues such as traffic and border challenges to smooth movement of people, Goods and Services, Musa Timothy Kaba, Chair of Council of Ministers, had also highlighted the recent wave of undemocratic changes of government in the region.
We must address non-tariff barriers, modernize and operationalize border posts, and improve the joint border management process. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the return of unconstitutional change of government continues to represent one of our most grave challenges.
In addition to these matters, the forum unanimously endorsed Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama as the sub-region's sole candidate for the chairmanship of the African Union, AU, in 2027. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Now, in a move to strengthen education, youth development, critical thinking and inclusion, Chess in Gambia schools and communities held the final of its first ever Interschool chess tournament, marking a major step in promoting educational chess across the country. Our Bob attended the final and this is her report.
The tournament brought together students from schools across the country, creating a vibrant atmosphere of competition and learning. The event is a significant step forward for the Gambia as it highlights the rising influence of chess in classrooms and communities nationwide. Co-founder Christina Pauline Aziz spearheads the work of chess in Gambia schools and communities as the organization's driving force.
Our organization signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. After that signing of the memorandum of understanding, our organization invited a representative from the International Chess Federation Education Commission, Ms. Ansel Lobsher. She joined us all the way from South Africa for a 4-day preparation of teachers course, which is a teacher training workshop where we teach teachers how to use chess as a game-based learning tool.
Matthew Aziz, a chess champion who has represented the Gambia in numerous international competitions and co-founder of Chess in Gambia schools and communities, shared how important the game is to him.
Chess is very good. It's impacted me because it gives a lot of opportunities. I've had the honor and privilege to travel to many countries to represent the Gambia. I went to Egypt, to Serbia, to Ghana, and I played in tournaments.
Divanshi Shivani and Robert Nielsen, representing the Gambian Lebanese International School and Gambia British International School respectively, shared their experiences with chess.
I feel amazing and so proud of myself that I could actually come to a tournament because it's my dream. My opponent got a bit distracted and he blundered, so that made me get checkmate in 2.
Chess has taught me to be very strategic, to plan ahead, because the game, you can start good but end badly. It's all a matter of planning, a matter of strategy, and regardless of where it goes wrong, when you lose, it's because of your mistakes. It's not because of the other person's game or whatever. It represents life in a way.
Mahmoud Lamin Jaula, the acting executive director of the National Sports Council, highlighted the importance of bringing chess to the Gambia, noting its value in fostering inclusive sports. Among the parents in attendance was Jeremy Auguski, who came out to support his son. Also present at the tournament was the Minister of Youth and Sports, Bakari Waibaji.
I really enjoy the tactics and the strategy. For my son Indigo, who's 8, it really helps him stay focused. His mind often is like moving like this in different ways, and when he plays chess, he's very focused.
Chess in schools and community is doing so well since its establishment in terms of reaching out, but also expanding the games and giving the opportunity to various young people in various schools to have the chance to put your hands on a chessboard and practice how to do it.
Chess in Gambia schools is committed to bringing chess into both schools and community spaces, using the game not just as a sport, but as a powerful tool for education, discipline, and critical thinking. Their philosophy is simple and inspiring. In chess, there is no such thing as losing. You either win or you learn. And that message is resonating with students nationwide. For QTV News, I am our Bob.
That report there brings us to the end of this news bulletin. But before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. Gambia's Environment Minister, Rohit John Manyang, addressed the 7th United Nations Environment Assembly in Nairobi, Kenya, highlighting her country's ongoing efforts to manage waste, reduce pollution, and build resilience against climate challenges. Following a week-long visit to the Gambia, the special representative of the UN Secretary-General on Violence Against Children, Her Excellency Dr. Najat Mala Majid, has praised the Gambia's ongoing efforts in protecting children's rights and promoting child welfare. And from the 1st of January 2026, air travel across West Africa is set to become significantly cheaper. The regional bloc ECOWAS has approved a major reform to cut passenger and security charges by 25% and remove some air transport taxes entirely. Now, the Gambia Immigration Department, in partnership with Spain's Guardia Civil, on Friday wrapped up an intensive 3-week training program which focused on border control and territorial integrity at the GID Training School in Tanje. And in international news, the 95th ordinary session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers commenced in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday with Sering Modunjai, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad, and Ababukar Ismail Juve, the Minister of Defense, in attendance. This is all we have for you in this edition of the News Bulletin. Do join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another News Bulletin. Thank you for watching.